Depression. Depression affects so many people, and so many who experience depression describe it as a feeling of collapse, sadness, overwhelmment, physical and mental exhaustion, and fear. Some people find it difficult to even get out of bed, and this overwhelming feeling of sadness immobilizes them. Depression's core function is to make one feel hopeless and helpless. The social stigma of depression is enough to prevent people from opening up and telling others how they're feeling. At times, that feeling of depression is so strong that the person experiencing it feels that there is no other way to escape but to take their own lives. It's not that they want to kill themselves, it's that they just want the pain to go away. For many, they feel that they just can't live anymore. Some people try to reach out to others and face rejection. Some are shunned and maybe even made fun of. Help is not always available because many people don't know how to help. This needs to change. The more people avoid those who are depressed, the more conditioned the person suffering depression can feel and draw the conclusion that it's better just not to ask anyone for help. The purpose of my talk today is twofold. First, to bring awareness to those who know someone who is experiencing depression that they can help. And secondly, to speak to those who are feeling depressed. There is help. If you're experiencing sadness in your life at this moment, remember that there will be moments after this. Moments have come and gone, and many have yet to happen. Take a beat when things go wrong. Create distance from what's troubling you and trust that things will work out. Perhaps your struggle will become your strength. Discover how to zoom out and how to ask others for help. Although it sounds easy to do, for example, when people say, hey, just have good thoughts, change your environment, or whatever, it's not always easy to do, but it's worth doing. And sometimes we must simply leave space and let it be. Consider letting yourself feel uncomfortable and letting it plan out. You may never know why something is happening at this moment, but just maybe what's happening to you is there to teach you something, or it will come back to serve you. Not all things that happen to you solely happen to you. Sometimes they also happen for you. We just may not see the purpose or reason at the time. Maybe your mess will turn into a message, a TED Talk, a life lesson that you can then use to help others who are going through what you went through. Your mental illness is not your fault. We're not talking about fault. The question should be, how can I make changes in my life that will help me feel better? And what are some of the things that I can do that can provide me that will to carry on and get through what it is that I'm going through? If you are experiencing depression and you're thinking, I've tried everything, just know this. You haven't tried everything. That's your illness lying to you. It doesn't want to be found out. Maybe the medications you're taking are wrong. Maybe the psychologist or therapist you're seeing is wrong and is not a good fit for you. Whatever. Some things don't work, but there are so many other things that can, and so many different therapists and forms of therapy that are available. Make sure that you investigate them. Make sure that your doctor is listening to you. You may need to reorganize the people around you, but do the work and remember your depression speaks to you in your own voice, and that's why it can be so hard to distinguish between the two, your true voice and that of your depression. Your depression wants you to think that you're alone, not worthy, that you're nothing, and that nobody loves you, and that it's pointless to even try. But your depression is a liar. It does not want you to be happy, but you can fight back, and it's worth it. Believe that you are stronger than your circumstances, and you will be. Although there is a stigma attached to opening up about how you're feeling, don't be afraid to. That stigma needs to be changed, and you have every right to open up and ask for help. In fact, you must. Find the therapy that works for you, and there are hundreds out there. Remember that it takes work. Nobody can change you. Your mental health problem is not your fault, but your recovery is your responsibility. There are things that you can do. You're not powerless, no matter how small the steps you need to take may seem. Even dragging yourself out of bed and taking a shower, that's a win. We need to realize that we are not slaves to our brain, and we are not powerless against our enemies. Therapy is about acceptance and change. Acceptance of something within yourself, for example, even accepting the fact that you've been abused. It doesn't mean that it was okay. It simply means that you accept that you were, and that you recognize that it was not your fault. Accepting that you were abused does not get the abuser off the hook. It simply means it happened, it's in the past, and it's not my fault. I'm not going to give my abuser the power and control over me at this time. The past is in the past. It's not your fault. And I'm going to leave it where it belongs, in the past. You can't deny that it happened, because the longer that you do means that you're not dealing with it. Dealing with it helps you to get to the next step. Post-traumatic growth. Change your narrative, and nothing will change if nothing changes. So be that change. Take control of your narrative and let it go. Remember that you are stronger than your circumstances, and there is help available to you through this. You deserve to be happy, and no one deserves happiness more than you do. And to parents, partners, spouses, and friends of someone going through depression, recognize the signs. Ask questions. A lot of people want to fix what they see as broken, but you can't do change to people. You can encourage and you can help, but you can't do it for anyone. Be the light for those who are going through difficult times, and encourage them to open up and to find that therapist, that therapy, or whatever it is that will help them to get through the darkest of times.